was one of the answers to Jayce alongside Yorick back in the day. And we've seen this matchup play out and go both ways. It is Ornn favored. Ornn's the one that has control, but if he messes up, Jayce can just run away with the game.
Yeah, and Nuguri's Jayce is always with the ability to run away with the game. This is a terrifying draft. Out from Damwon, if they have any sort of control around the mid game, it's going to be so hard for this more team fighting based comp to actually win out of DRX. However, on the side of DRX, the Varus is really standing out. This lane has been fantastic for this team so often, and Chovy is choosing to play the Aurelia into the Zoe, even though nowadays it's not the matchup that it used to be, with the fact that you used to be able to mitigate magic damage as well. That is no longer the case. And these paddle stars will still ring true despite the W coming out from the Aurelia. So Chovy just must be feeling himself in this matchup.
Just felt like there was a lot of volatility.
Yeah, I actually think that now that we're at game number 5, I think it needs to be DRX opting in for the red side, because they need to change something up, right? It's like, if they keep running it back over and over again, feels like Damwon have done their homework. They've figured it out. And DRX haven't done so quite as well.
Well, a lot of the replays here, very, enormous amount of hope on Damwon's team composition as well. As it's a very obnoxious thing to try to play against, and it's also very tilting if you are ever on the receiving end. But so many team fights went Dragon X's way. But again, the macro in the later stages started to fall apart. They opted into more and more team fights, and the one at the very end, missing Ornn, is really pivotal. It is favorable for Damwon to fight a 4v4 with Jayce and Ornn both removed.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was pretty cute from Ghost to be able to pick up a kill, but ultimately he was throwing his life away. This Baron was always going to go to DRX, but unable to actually fight anything, fight for anything after that. I mean, subsequent fights were all about Damwon, and I don't know, man. I think that the Jayce ban is something that they shouldn't have been able to give up, but it felt like they had to. They had to change something, as maybe it has to be Syndra that bites the dust, or something like that. Or maybe they need to get more priority to Chovy in this mid lane to allow him to flourish and take down Showmaker, who's got Zoe every single game.
Yeah, that would probably also be an option that they could end up going for. They could go for the B1 Zoe. I'm actually surprised that they're not doing that.
Yeah, sure. It feels like they value the Varus just a little bit too much.
And we'll see what the draft has in store for us. When we came back, I gave my player of the game over to Nuguri. I think he was an integral part to them being able to win this game.
Yep, I did too. Able to win this 1v1 towards the bottom side. He was literally the one that killed the Nexus, as Beryl also playing pretty cute in this particular moment, really eating up all of Chovy's time, as Deft was running the opposite direction to try and get away from a Rek'Sai. So just felt like DRX were being played in a lot of these moments. And we have a look at this teleporting stop. And Nuguri basically winning the game.
야 바로 수용 바스 끌게 바스 끌게 바스 끌 야 이래 로플로고 바로 수 끊어봐 바로 수 바스 끌게 내가 쓸게 빼봐 파도 나 델 탈게 됐다 침낭 끊어요 오케이 죽어
아 죽었어
바로 스피해
야 허드
오케이 야 카리스 뭐 오케이 이번에 26 안 남기다 26 안 남기다 26 안 남기다 야 다섯 개 끝내줘